It's drive time with Dave. I'm Dave. I'll be your driver. Today is Terrific Tuesday. Another day that we get up and we get to do it again. And we're going to keep doing it. If we stop doing it, what are we going to have? That's the question that was presented to me. I was presented with a whole bunch of questions last night, secretly, behind the scenes. No comments, a bunch of messages come in, asking about the motivation, the drive, the determination. So, I do have a secret, and it's severe. I have a medical condition that I'm going to share with everybody. You guys are waiting for the punchline. What if there was no punchline? What if I actually had a medical condition? I have an addiction. See, I said that with a straight face. I can't continue holding it because my favorite words are going to come out of my mouth. To money. I have an addiction to money. And I can't make enough because there is not enough. And even if I made enough, to whatever degree that would be, I'm still not sure that would be enough. Because that's it. I'm addicted to money. I love making money. I just want to make money and make money and make money. And I want to give my family and all my friends everything that I can possibly give. Advice on making money? Right? Give my kids every toy, which is, by the way, an incredibly silly thing to do, because my 5-year-old is under the impression that all he has to do is go in a store and put whatever he wants in the cart, and it can come home with us. Because once it's in the cart, it's his. That's what he thinks. And I've made it that way. Can I undo that? Hopefully by the time he's 15, he won't feel the same way. Hopefully by then I'll gotten it under control. I got 10 years to get it under control, so my child won't have some complex or I don't even know what the words are that his false sense of entitlement, his unjust I don't even know what I'm trying to say because it sounds crazy. Talking a bunch of crazy stuff. I fully understand the problems that everybody has. As much as I was berated by a few emails last night. Berated is kind of a harsh word. I mean, this is the shaky camera portion of this morning's journey. I notice that when I'm reviewing the videos that there's a certain point that I go where the camera just won't stop. So, I was told that I do not know what it's really like to not be able to afford to buy material to resell and try to make enough money to make a living. So, as difficult as this may be for me to try to explain, it is. But so, in previous videos I've said, well, the difference between you and I is we just remove a few zeros. So, I pay the bills, and you pay your bills. And if I told you I struggle to pay my bills, like you struggle to pay yours, that would sound crazy. My bills are just a whole lot bigger. So my bills correspond with what I've done to myself. I've made them that way. And you have not made them that way. So you have bills and you struggle to pay and I struggle to pay my bills. So why do I struggle to pay my bills? Because it takes all the available money to keep buying inventory, to keep selling. I have the exact same problem that you do. I can't stop buying I have to keep buying. I have to keep buying inventory to keep selling. So it doesn't matter what scale, where you're at on that economic scale. I have the same problems. I'm in a box, and the box is so complicated. But when you really think about the box isn't all that complicated. There's 4 sides and a bottom, and hopefully the top's not closed. So you're just in the box. Coming up with creative ways to continuously buy material and sell, and make deals, diversify. I watched a reseller last night. Everybody knows who he is. Reezy Resales. And I got to say, I don't know much about books. And the reason I don't know much about books is because, and I've said this before, going into a market space against the monster that is Amazon never made any sense to me. I listen to Reezy, and he knows books, and he primarily sells books and shoes. I don't know. All right. End up in books and shoes, but so it's books and shoes. I gotta get prepared here. Hang on. I'm ready. I wasn't ready. Now I'm ready. And so I thought, gosh, would it be possible for me to bring in some books? Wow. I don't know anything about books. So I'm in uncharted water. And then I snap out of it. Oh my gosh. What? Why would I even consider, with the weight, the space? Well, wait a minute. But it's not about the weight of the books or the space they're going to take up. It's about the profit. It's all about making money. Oh gosh. See? I even get caught up too. I get caught so easily because I can quickly go, I don't know how people sell tools. They're so heavy. But the price point makes so much sense. But go back to, there's a subscriber, and I don't know if I should share this or not. Maybe he won't care because it probably won't directly affect him, that he likes to purchase broken, I don't know, broken, not like snapped in half, but not working Snap-on tools. And because Snap-on has I think it's like a lifetime warranty, he knows a Snap-on dealer that he can take those tools to. And I think this is more of an inside, he knows somebody. I don't know. If I could go out and I could get some, not working Snap-on tools and take them down to the local Snap-on dealer, I could probably go in there and go, hey, look at all this. I got a big, shop, and I got to get all these tools fixed. I don't even know. I don't know how it works, but it's interesting. It's like books. Could I start buying and selling books? Where do you get books? How do you get books? How do you know what to price books at? You got to scan every book. You got to look every book up. It's an Amazon only item because that's where you make your best money. So the point of my video this morning is that if one more person emails me and says, you're not like us, Dave, I'm like, listen, I am, because we can't possibly all know everything. We are all good at whatever's in our box. In that box right there. Whatever it is that's in our box. And we have to work hard to get out of that box. So I think, gosh, I could... honestly, it'd probably be pretty easy for me. I can make a few phone calls. I can find, somebody that handles the clearance side of any one of the big book box retailers and bring in books. All you got to do is buy them. It doesn't matter whether you're going to go and you're going to buy one book or, in my case, I'll buy, tractor trailer load of books. One has little to do with the other. What I'm going to end up with is 200,000 books. It may or may not be worth anything because I don't know what to look at. So I can't go into it like that. So I'll do what I always do now. I'm actually going to go to some of the local bookstores and I'm going to look through I didn't lose the train of my thought, so I just want to make sure that I describe it correctly. I do go to the bookstore a lot, and I buy a lot of books and I read them. I actually had a subscriber ask me about books. I mostly buy books on selling and finance and tax. Imagine that. The very thing that I don't like to talk about, taxes. So nonfiction books is what I understand sells. So what I'm going to do this morning, as soon as I get to the office, I'm going to make my call to my advisor, Gary, at Amazon. I've talked about Gary before. And then Gary will whisper in the phone, I'll pull a report and I'll send it over to you of some of the top selling books. Then I'm going to have secret information. And then I'm going to turn my camera on and go, here guys, here's all the books that we all want to go out and buy. So there's going to be 1,000 of us all looking for the same books all over the United States. And we're all going to be rich. No, that's not what's actually going to happen. I will run down the list of books as soon as I can get it. And we can all make a determination together, because you guys are going to leave me comments, you're going to email me, I'm going to email you back, and we're going to figure out together, because there's just a very small group of us. It's not like I'm putting this video out for millions of people. I have a very close group right now with you guys, and I like you guys. So we're going to work together, and we're going to figure out if we even want to invest time, not even money, just time. We're going to figure out, can we do this? There might be some of us that are already doing it. They're like, oh man, everybody's going to get into books now. What am I going to do? Remember, it doesn't matter whether 1,000 of us get into books or 100,000 of us. 30 million people an hour, whether it's an hour or a minute, are shopping on Amazon and eBay simultaneously. So there's supposed to be some 60 million people worldwide now, worldwide. Because clearly we know that there's only 350 million people in the United States. So that would be ridiculous that a quarter, a little less than a quarter of the population shopping at any given time. I guess that doesn't seem so unrealistic now, does it, when you look at the numbers that way? I always say the numbers are the numbers. The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't change. The numbers are the numbers. So no matter how you do the math, if you are buying something and you are making profit, you are making profit, because the numbers don't lie. So we're going to look at this book thing, and we're going to figure out if it's going to make sense. And we're going to start on a daily basis doing something that I typically do, and I don't share, but I typically do it. But I'm going to start going over, this is what my day looks like. I researched X product. Because whether I can buy it on a scale, or I've got to go buy it onesie-twosie, or I'll do what you guys are doing. If I have to go to a bookstore and go into the clearance section and I get to buy 50 books for $1 a piece, or I got to make a deal with somebody, and I can make $5 or $6 or $10 or whatever it's going to be after the weight, after the shipping or whatever, that would definitely be an FBA item. I could not recommend trying to store books at your house and make it make sense. I wish jeans were an FBA item. I gotta tell you, because jeans are kind of that thorn in my side, because they're so good, they sell year round. See, that's that product that seasons don't really affect. There are very few products that are year round. And so that's just part of blending your inventory and going, well, we're going to put in, we're going to start bringing jeans on. Because seasonal changes are such a pain in the rear end, to keep up with. Long sleeves for the winter. Dressier shirts just because you want dressy long sleeve shirts. Whatever kind of shorts and bathing suits. There's a guy on eBay that I got to be honest, I'm not going to use the S word, but I monitor what he's doing, because I'm quite intrigued over the amount of swimwear that he sells. And just like the guy I monitor that does nothing but ties, he's got something like 20,000 ties up for sale. Ties are another one of those dollar components that you can buy for $1, and they sell anywhere between $1 and $25, $30. Depends on what brand it is. There are thousands of products. So the question is, do I title this video thousands of products that we could sell on eBay or Amazon? I don't, I would like to get, more subscribers, more viewers. And so it's difficult to come up with titles for the videos, because one of the components of titling a video is to get new people to find the video by doing, keyword searches for the title. And that's why sometimes my titles are so unrelated to the video. But I try to incorporate it where it'll make a little sense without me sounding like I'm doing some, clickbait. Because clearly I don't want people coming to watch my video that's actually interested in, that's why I said Super Bowl Monday, And somebody actually pointed out to me, hey, well, you didn't actually have a phone call with, the rock star in your video. No, but I actually talked to him like 6 times yesterday, and I've talked to him twice this morning. We do talk a lot. And I don't actually video those calls and do what he did to me. Imagine that. I'll just, I'll be like, hey, dude, you just need to come on my video or something, if, because that's what everybody likes to see. Everybody's tired of hearing me talk. They want to hear us talk. We have so many interesting things to talk about. So we're gonna start looking at products and recapping products. The stuff that I primarily sell at work is only because it's branded and I'm bringing in tens of thousands of pieces from China, and so I don't have a lot of onesie offs, stuff like that, and we do multi-channel selling on all platforms. The one thing I can recommend is, if you're to a point where you have enough inventory, it's very easy to get approved to sell on Sears Marketplace. Sears Marketplace is a very good place to sell as well. They have a lot of traffic. You can start putting your items up there, whether they're new or used, and people will buy them. And if you followed along and you've actually started looking at getting into toys, new toys sell very well on Sears Marketplace. Sears Marketplace has a very specific demographic of shopper that they love Sears. They've spent half a lifetime shopping at Sears, and they believe in Sears, and they believe in Sears products, and they believe that Sears wouldn't allow someone to sell something that wouldn't meet Sears' standard. And so we have to use that to our advantage, that belief. I was also asked about clarification of Amazon invoices, how to get ungated. Is the few times that I've talked about this, and it's kind of, it's one of those lead-ins. You can apply with distributors and purchase from them. And I'm going to use one very specific one as an example. Toy manufacturer Melissa and Doug Toys. Because everybody knows how much I love toys so much. You can go and apply, and they will accept you, and you can buy a minimum quantity of them of 10 toys. 10 pieces from them at $2 or $3 a piece that you could sell on Amazon for $7 or $8. Once you buy 3 times from them and you've got 3 invoices, or you use them as one invoice and you go to one of the other manufacturers, you'll have your 3 invoices. There are large enough sellers on eBay that qualify in Amazon's mind as a distributor when you're buying in quantity. I know I've talked about this before, but not quite in depth as this, to make everybody clearly understand that there's not some falsification going on here. Because I do not condone that, and I have not condoned it by any manner of speaking. So to be clear, if you are dealing with a very, 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 very large seller on eBay, and you can tell by the number of listings and the quantity of stuff they've got, and if they have something and they've got a quantity of 10 or 20, you simply go, hey, can I get an invoice from you identifying the purchase I made, and not the PayPal invoice, an actual invoice that they can email you with their letterhead, their information, their everything. That qualifies as an invoice from a distribution point. Now, I hear somebody typing right now, blah, 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 but they're not a distributor. Blah, 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 blah. You're giving us more inaccurate. Blah, 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 blah. It's misleading. Blah, blah. Okay. Okay, Mr. Guy typing, whoever you may be right now. That's right. Just pushing my one button. I only have one button, by the way. And you're clicking it right now. Click, 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 click. It's like that button on the bottom of an iPhone that's not really a button anymore because it's not a button. They've made it like a touch sensor. So I actually have like a touch sensor, and you're touching my sensor right now. What classifies any reseller as a distributor? How do you go from being a reseller to a distributor? You got more products? You're self-proclaimed distributor? Did someone else label you as a distributor? This is for all the people out there. I sound like Harvey Keitel right now. That aren't clear on reselling, small businesses, distribution, or wholesale. What is the difference between a distributor and a wholesaler? Distributor is what? Licensed to buy a manufacturer? Who provided that license? The manufacturer? A wholesaler is not licensed by the manufacturer, or is? A wholesaler sells to a distributor sells it out because the wholesaler wants to sell 100,000 pieces. The distributor buys the 100,000 pieces, then he sells it to retailers who sell hundreds of pieces. And the guy on eBay that buys 100 pieces is considered a retailer and wouldn't be a distributor for you because he couldn't provide you an ongoing supply of the material that he buys continuously from a distributor who's buying from a wholesaler. I've been doing this a long time. And I gotta tell you that as much as I enjoy a challenge, it's not very challenging when someone messages me in the middle of the night questioning what I do or do not understand. And if I don't understand something, guys, I've clearly said, I don't know everything. But there is a point where it's not like there's some entity in the government that says, this guy is a distributor, and when he gives you an invoice, that's it, it's law. He's a distributor, that's it. Oh my gosh. I could supply an invoice for any one of the countless thousands of products that I sell as a distributor because you're now a retailer. And selling on Amazon makes you a retailer, and they want to make sure that you're buying from a distribution point because Amazon's process, their thought process, their whole, I can't even come up with enough words. We want to make sure as a seller on Amazon, you can supply the same quality products to their customers over and over and over. And that's all this is about. They're not eBay. eBay never said, you gotta give us some invoices to provide that you can keep getting the same material over and over. Have they? No, they haven't. Right? And I know these are things that everybody doesn't look at, and I do. And maybe I've come across wrong, and I apologize. I try not to talk about things so seriously, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes if somebody, taps my home button enough, you know what happens when you tap it a couple of times and all of a sudden Siri pops up? And then when you try to close Siri, it's, I didn't understand that, or I didn't get that, or I didn't hear what you said and it won't close. That's kind of what just happened to me. Somebody tapped my home button a couple times. I'm like, all right, here's your answer. It's not scientific. It's understanding the movements in the market. It's understanding the difference in classifications of company. And understanding that there is no actual classification. Somebody's a distributor because they call themselves a distributor. I call myself a distributor right now, so I call up a wholesaler, and they're like, what can we do for you? I'm like, well, I'd like to buy something from you. I was told that Mattel or Hasbro, or I go down the line, whatever the toy company is, or whatever the product is, says that you've got this material. And they say, we do. Okay. All right, we're going to need you to fill out a form. Yes, sir, I know. Yep, I'll fill that form out. This is my company. I'm a distributor. I'm also a retailer. So there's a little line on there that says you're a distributor, you're a retailer. I want to buy from them as a wholesaler. I'm still going to buy from them. It doesn't matter whether I classify myself as whatever it is. Sometimes when you're starting out and you're working out of your house, again, and I've said it, there's a little confusion on people call themselves resellers. I call you a small business. I personally think you're a small business. So if somebody comes to you and says, so what is it that you do? Well, I've got a small business. Really? What's your small business? Yeah, I got an e-commerce business. I sell stuff online. Oh, wow, really? That's so interesting. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I get to work out of my house. Oh, so you work out of your house? And then all of a sudden everything changes, doesn't it? You know how many of those conversations you've had? Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah. I work out of my house, and then they're like, oh. Like, if you don't have a big building full of employees, you're not actually a small business. Right? Well, I'm self-employed. Well, what does that mean? I work out of my house. Oh. So if I was self-employed and I had an office, that's cool with you. That makes me laugh. So I don't know how many times I'm going to say so. Maybe one more time. So again, it's all understanding what you want to be at that time. So you can call yourself a reseller. I think you're a small business. And I think you're working to grow into a much larger small business. At what point does someone stop being a small business? I consider myself a small business. At what point am I not a small business? I don't have enough employees. I've only got 22. So at what point am I don't know, medium-sized business? A large business? Because maybe I'm large in my space, or maybe I'm not. So it's just the use of the terms. Try not to take it personally. But again, if you're working to get ungated on Amazon and you find whatever your supplier is going to be, they could just consider themselves a supplier. They could consider themselves a distributor. They could consider themselves a wholesaler. See, they could. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. Who knows? This was drive time. Today I'm Crazy Dave. I was Crazy Dave the driver today. And I hope through somehow that I've provided one thing that I've said here has actually helped somebody. Because I got to be honest, today, when you get your button pushed a few too many times, all I can say is crazy kicks in. And hopefully my button will stop getting pushed. And so later today, I'll actually make more sense. Thanks, guys.